Sorry about that. I hit the wrong button and cut myself off.
And building at Miller and Lower Buckeye Roads. He's on 72 acres and was pre-leased to Funko. That's the company that makes those, giant-headed pop culture figures. They go beyond bobblehead. I mean, they've got even bigger heads than the bobbleheads.
Yeah, Funko Pops. We know what they are.
On Wall Street right now, Dow futures up 61, the S&P's up 15, the Nasdaq's up 67. For more money news, visit the Business Center at KTAR.com. And coming up in a couple minutes here, will President Biden's plea for a 3-month federal gas tax?
I had no idea that there was a Funko warehouse in the Phoenix area. That's wild. We do get a lot of their product coming through the warehouse here, so that's interesting. And it's always nice to throw the Funko Pops on the line because they're light. they're light. They don't hurt your back. Anyway, last video got cut off. I bumped the wrong thing on my phone. But I'm easily amused by things like cornfields. Anyway, it's going to be a warm ride home. I don't know what the temperature is. It's not too bad right now, but the sun is out and you can see it's bright. And yesterday, I think I was hearing on the radio, on the news, that yesterday was the first day of summer and the longest day of the year. So yeah, this is the highest the sun's going to be at this time of the day, which makes me happy. The night's going to start coming soon. So I definitely enjoyed my schedule at Amazon better when it was when it was dark getting dark as I was arriving, and when it was still dark when I left. So looking forward to that again. Anyway, there's someone I was wanting to talk to before I hit the talk about when I hit the wrong thing on the screen. I invited some more people from work to come check out my gig at Bullock's. It's so far only one person from work has ever shown up, and that's Garfield. I hardly see him anymore. He works in a completely different department, and he's got a car now too. So neither of us are riding the bus anymore. He works for I forget the name of the department inside the warehouse, but basically it's the department that does auditing. Basically goes around to different parts of the warehouse and checks to see what's going through, and just kind of checks to make sure everything's what it's supposed to be. I don't know the details exactly of what they do, but I know the people that work in that department, and I know the ones that work in that department that work in the area where I am. But Garfield's like working in a different area now. And I actually had a chance to, when I became a forklift driver, I had a chance to go to a different department. In fact, I was told by the guy that does the training, the main guy who does the training for forklift drivers. And by the way, his name is Angel, and I kept trying to remember it was Angel or Christian. It's Angel. Great guy. He actually kind of helped me out with an issue today. First forklift I tried to check out had I backed it out of its charging spot, and there was a puddle of oil under it. I'm like, ooh, that's never a good sign. So I wasn't really sure what the process was for shopping it, but it seemed like, and granted, the easy thing for me to do, the easiest thing I could have done was looked at that and went, nope, and parked it, and just went to another one and checked out another one. But I just like to be thorough, and it's not like there was any great rush for me to hurry up and get on a forklift and start moving pallets. I mean, the pallets ain't going anywhere. And that's, I unloaded about half a truck. Other than that, I'm just like, I am the pallet guy, or pallets. I guess there's some people calling me pallets. Nobody's called me pallets to my face. I'm waiting for the day that happens because I'm oddly cool with that. In fact, I've been getting a lot of compliments of the way I do it. I keep kind of refining the way I do it, and I've kind of got a different system. I kind of changed some stuff in the way I did it today, and I nearly loaded 3 trucks of pallets. In addition to the fact that I unloaded half a truck of cargo, and I did other stuff as well. I gathered and moved quite a few of the empty pallets to get them into the pallet loading zone. And what else I did? It did take me a while, because I didn't really know what the procedure was to shop a forklift, so I had to go talk to Angel about that. Which was good. I mean, I figured it was a good thing for me to learn how to do, and since I had spotted this issue with this lift, better that somebody who's as diligent about that kind of stuff as myself, get it documented rather than somebody who just doesn't care. Just getting on it and being like, looks fine to me, because that's not on the list of things we're supposed to look at. Now, I did notice that there was a bit of the plastic housing on the front that was like had a hole in it and a crack, and I'm like, that's just cosmetic, but that's not supposed to be like that. And I was gonna check it out. I took a picture of it. I was gonna check it out anyway, and just be like, well, that's shouldn't have any effect on it mechanically, but as I was pulling out, I just happened to look down. I'm certainly going to make an effort to do that more often now. But yeah, I saw that puddle of oil. I'm like, ooh, this is leaking fluids. This is not good. Now, one of the things I'm supposed to do when I check out a forklift is I'm supposed to check it for fluids, and I check. It's all done, through hydraulics, like most heavy equipment. And certainly I check where all the hydraulic lifts and stuff are, and the hydraulic connections to the hydraulic hoses to look for leaks. But if something is leaking under or inside it, I'm not going to see that. And I'm sure they have a regular maintenance schedule on them or anything. But I mean, I can't even count how many times where that's how I noticed something was wrong with my car, or back when I had my cab company with one of my cabs. When I park in a clean parking spot, I pull out and there's a puddle of something. It's like the first thing I do is park the car and walk up, stick my finger in it and smell it. It sounds disgusting, but I've been around motor vehicles enough and worked on enough cars and just been in charge of kind of maintaining enough cars that I can tell is this hydraulic fluid. And to be fair, it did feel like hydraulic fluid that was on there. But is this hydraulic fluid? What weight of hydraulic fluid in it? Am I leaking oil? Am I leaking gas? Am I leaking coolant? Now, this time of year in Phoenix, if you're leaking coolant and you don't notice you're leaking coolant, it's a good way to blow up your car. Phoenix summers are no joke. Your cooling system needs to be working. I'm not even talking about air conditioning. That's optional. It's nice when it's working, but your radiator and your water pump and your coolant system needs to be working really well in Phoenix, or your car can blow up or straight up catch on fire. It's amazing how many cars you see on the side of the road during the summertime that have overheated. And a good way to prevent that is just being diligent. When you pull out of your parking spot, look, is there a puddle there? What is that puddle? Oh, it's antifreeze. Yikes, maybe shouldn't be driving this today because it's 108. Anyway, so yeah, checked out it was a while between the kind of learning how to do that procedure and then going and checking out another one, and I took 2 trips back and forth to the learning area where Angel was. First time I went there, he explained how to do it, and then I went back, and I made the mistake when I saw the puddle, I stopped, as opposed to backing the forklift back into its dock by the charger, and that's because I figured that he would probably want to come actually with me, as opposed to telling me what to do and just sending me on my way. I just kind of thought he would kind of come with me, and he was busy doing other stuff, so he just explained what to do. And when I got back to wow, I just became the asshole in the crosswalk. When I got back, I'm like, ooh, my forks are in the road just a little bit. I need to probably back this up into its parking spot. And I had been, like, I was going through the telemetry, the basically a menu you go through that basically checks to see if you've gone through the inspection. And granted, it's possible to just go through that thing and say yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, and breeze through it. But I used to own a taxi company. I used to lease cabs. I was a cab driver for a long time. So, and I've rented cars, and yeah, I check out somebody else's vehicle, especially in a job-related situation. I'm pretty thorough with my inspections because if there's an issue with it, I want it documented before I go anywhere with it. And if it's bad, I don't want to leave in that car. And I certainly don't want to be held responsible for something that happened before I got the vehicle. So yeah, I mean, checking out a forklift at Amazon, to me, nothing different. I mean, once I'm logged into that thing, I'm responsible for it. So I'm pretty thorough with my inspection. And anyway, there's 2 parts to the telemetry. The first part is just answering questions about yourself, and it's basically a binding declaration of, hey, are you on any drugs? Are you able-bodied? Are you qualified to operate this machinery? It's kind of silly, but I mean, I get it. It's definitely a CYA for Amazon, and it's I guess 45 and a 35 was inadequate for that guy. Anyway, yeah, anyway, once you get through that part of it, and then you go to the inspection stuff, the forklift is operational. And at that point, like, you're supposed to check, make sure that you can raise and lower the forks, make sure that you can steer, make sure the emergency brake is working, make sure the all the, do a little test drive in and out of the parking spot, just to make sure everything's working right. And I always diligently do that. And as it was when I was doing that I looked down and I saw the puddle, and I left it out because I figured Angel would want to come back and look at that and kind of give me his opinion on it. But anyway, when I got back, I figured I expected I would still be logged into it. And at that point, not only was I not logged into it, but it had gone into like some kind of a mode where I couldn't log into it. And I was like, oh crap. And I look a little closer, and it's not like the forks are hanging out in the road, but I would say I had the road which is designated by lines on the floor. I would say I had about 10 inches of one fork and about 8 inches of the other fork across the line. And of course I got a warning from Angel. It's like, well, safety could write you up for that. I'm like, well, my concern was fluid leak. I said, I didn't even realize they were out. I figured we would be going right back and, you'd check it or whatever. I said, it's just my bad. It was kind of a judgment call of what was the best thing to do at that time. And he's like, no, you're fine. He goes, I'll handle it. And I'd taken a picture of the tag that I filled out, so he had the information because he needed to put it in his computer. Actually, he seemed pretty happy that I did it. I get a feeling that most drivers just look at that. Most forklift operators at Amazon just look at that as a hassle they don't want to deal with. I kind of get that feeling. So, especially from the way he reacted to the fact that I was wanting to make sure I knew how to do that and making the time to do that. So, yeah, that was kind of neat. First time that happened today. Anyway, so yeah, I was pretty surprised when I got back there, and yeah, my plan was just to move that. After I filled out the red maintenance tag and attached it, I figured I'd just get it, put it back, and it's the battery was 100%, so there's no reason to put it back on the charger, but at least get it right up against the charger and park. Since at that point I'd made filled out a form, explaining about the fluid leak underneath it. So I was really bewildered when I couldn't move it. I'm like, oh, this sucks. But anyway, 6:24. Oh shoot! I didn't even say what the time and date was when I started this video because it was kind of funny. Like I had bumped my screen or I bumped a button on the phone and I'd cut off the last video where I was out in the corn and then as I was trying to put my phone into my mount to just immediately resume it.
Nearly 30 water-related deaths this year in the valley.
He says there have been a total of 26 drowning deaths this year with children under 5 years old.
Somehow bumped something and started recording, so I just went with it. Anyway, it is 6:24 right now. It's
and be sure to have a fence around your pool. PTAR and Fulton Homes want to remind
Thursday
you
morning.
2 seconds is too long to take your eyes
Show
off
at Bullocks
kids near
tonight.
water. Learn more about this campaign at ktar.com/water.
Get the air conditioning fixed on Friday.
PTAR eyes on the economy as higher
And I'll probably actually ride the bus out to.
Have you pulling out your credit card more often? Be careful.
Inflation is hitting consumers hard, and
Oh, this
many
should be
people's
fun to listen.
solution is to use credit to pay for essentials. Kristen Benz with the KB Advisory Group tells the Mike Broomhead Show that credit may not be available for everyone.
It's your gas tank, it's your APS bill, your utility bill. All of those personal issues are now going on that credit card, and if there's not an availability of credit to those families, that begs the question of what happens next.
Benz suggests buying clothes or school supplies now before prices rise for the holidays. Shira Tanzer, KTAR News.
At 6:25.
Speaking of credit cards,
Checking in every 6 minutes from the Valley.
my FICO's going up. I'm pretty excited about that.
Jim, I sure hope this isn't a pattern again. We're starting to see.
And I'm really proud of myself that through all the tough times I went through last year and beginning of this year that I did manage to at least, at the very worst, stay diligent on minimum payments. And that's paid off for me. Now I'm not looking for any more available credit. I am considering getting a debt consolidation loan. I'm getting a lot of direct mail advertising for those. But I do want to definitely shop around. I just don't want to do an impulse on one. But if I do that, make sure I have some time to kind of think about that and compare the different offers that I've got.
Ceramic technology reflects UV rays from later in your home's exterior and is backed by a 25-year warranty. For a free estimate, visit rhinoshield.az.com. Featuring KTAR Net.
Whoa!
We're seeing a lot of stalled vehicles. How many of these people
Look
have
at
run
that.
out of do you think?
McDonald's windows are boarded up, but they're open. I see vehicles coming out the drive-thru, but the front windows are all boarded up.
I wouldn't either. All right, your weather today, 110.
Makes me wonder if they're remodeling or if they got vandalized. That's surprising. actually got a short on my channel that's got on this YouTube channel. It's got a surprisingly, I mean, it's not a lot of views, but it's a lot of views for a video on my channel where I just went in there. I don't even remember why I was over in this area. I think that's when I was trying to get my Social Security back, which I'm not even trying to do anymore. But yeah, I was trying to get my Social Security back, and I never did manage to make any progress with that, in spite of the several trips that I made to the Social Security Administration building, which is just south of right where I am right here. But yeah, we're walking over to that McDonald's, and their kiosk having some kind of a weird dysfunction to it. So I just shot a little short vertical video about it. It got a lot of views for anyway. If you've seen that video, it's that McDonald's. So yeah, my credit's going up, but yeah, now that she's mentioning that, I should probably start paying attention to my Costco card, because for quite some time I really wasn't using my Costco card at all, and now, I mean, that's where all my gas is going, and I'm pretty sure I've just got my Costco where it is on autopilot to just make minimum payments. But yeah, as much as gas is costing right now, you know, even though I'm not using a lot of gas, it's I mean, I think this tank was like $56. In fact, my receipt is probably right here. Let's see what gas cost me yesterday. When I get to my next red light, of course. Phoenix Phase 2. X-Phoenix. X exists to improve the way we interact. Some kind of big high-rise going in right there. So, yeah, yesterday. 6/22/22, which means today is 6/23/22. $5.19 a gallon. Not a bad gas price for July 2022, but still, damn, that's a lot of money for gas. $11.26 gallons. Pretty much full tank. I had it very, very empty. In fact, it's very rare that I'm able to get over 11 gallons in this tank. It's usually just a little bit over 10 when I top it off, and that's when I get it down to empty. And it was 58.58. Now, I've been hearing that people that drive these oversized trucks and big gas guzzling SUVs, that they're really frustrated, because apparently this is what I've heard. I haven't experienced it myself, but I've heard that the Costco gas pumps cut off at $100. And I would imagine on some of those trucks, $100 doesn't even fill the tank. So yeah, that's got to be frustrating. I'm glad I at least drive a fuel-efficient little plastic car. I do like this car a lot. New traffic light pole right there. Arizona Center on my left. St. Mary's Basilica on my right. I really don't like the current look of the Arizona Center. They gave it a facelift a few years back, and to me it's just ugly now. They're building another building on this corner of it, at the corner of 5th and Van Buren, in what used to be like a nice. It was just a lawn, nothing special about it, but it was some nice available shady green space. Kind of bummed that's lost, but. Building on the left used to be Phoenix Union High School Auditorium. I don't know that it's anything now, but it's several times it's reopened as a concert venue. And I've seen some pretty good shows there. Best show I ever saw there was Jars of Clay with Plum. Plum was the opener, and Jars of Clay. Not like I'm massively into Christian rock, but I really like the band Jars of Clay, and they put on a heck of a great show. And dang near their whole discography too. But yeah, I think they were touring on their. Memory serves, they were touring on their second album, the one that has Crazy Times on it. Really like that song. It's one I sing at karaoke every now and then, but it's usually lost on the crowd no matter where I sing it because people don't really know the song. But, yeah, I love that song.
Hot with a high of 110. Storm chances continue daily through the weekend. I'm ABC meteorologist Iris Hermosillo.
At 6:33, it's 86 degrees in Peoria.
86 degrees. Oh, wow. New pack and stack apartments going in there on the right.
Just into the KTAR newsroom, Maricopa.
It's kind of neat to see this area finally sort of becoming gentrified.
12 cases have been
Getting better, because this was a really, it still kind of is a really bad part of town.
83 westbound in Maricopa County with several deaths. No details have been released yet about this year's deadly case.
Let's see if I
You can get
can find Mike's little warehouse. There it is, right there on the left.
App, and for more, go to KTAR.com. Well, at
Yeah,
4
that's
o'clock
it.
This morning, after a 15-hour marathon,
That warehouse there was the very first Safeway in the city of Phoenix, and is actually owned by some friends of mine.
This is $6 billion more than last year. It includes $1 billion for education.
I think they're tentatively planning on opening a bar there when this area just gets gentrified enough to do that sort of thing. But in the meantime, it's storage.
We hate about this budget. But when all together, the good in this budget finally outweighs the bad.
Kind of regretting I never bought anything like that back when it was affordable. But who's to know what's going to happen with property values in the future? I don't think what's currently happening is a tenable thing. I expect it's a bubble that at some point is going to burst. A la 2016. Or, I'm sorry, 2008. Blah, whatever year it was that happened.
With dangerous weapons and attributed to a mental health crisis.
What the heck is here where the Circle K was? Wow, that is a used car lot where that Circle K was. That's surprising.
Have a constitutional right to bear and keep arms, and that right will not be infringed upon.
Taylor Kinnerup, KTAR News.
Phoenix police teaming up with county and federal agencies to try to rein in
I just
rising gun crime.
barely. Oh wait, here we go.
Gun crime crackdown. Interim Maricopa County Attorney Rachel Mitchell says her office will play a role.
I have allocated resources to identify the necessary evidence to prosecute cases.
She believes taking advantage of the relationships between agencies is essential.
Smart and targeted enforcement can and will make a difference and make our community safer.
Some cases may be referred to the U.S. Attorney if federal charges are a possibility. Mitchell will join us here on Arizona's Morning News just over a half hour from now to talk more about the gun crime crackdown. The use of drones continues to evolve from a fun hobby to real estate photography, but now in Phoenix they're being used to save lives.
The Phoenix Fire Department is using drones to help firefighters make quick, potentially life-changing decisions.
So many memories on Van Buren Street.
It really gives public safety the opportunity to do quick information gathering. They can cover large areas over a quick amount of time, and they give us a better understanding of the obstacles.
On the left right here is Alhambra State Prison. This is the intake facility for Arizona Department of Corrections. Been there. Memories of that are pretty vivid because I had a horrible cold when I went through there. And there were a handful of corrections officers that went out of the way to make sure that I had what I needed to take care of myself while I was in there. No complaints about my time in Alhambra. brand new VA building going in on the left. I don't know if y'all can see that, probably not.
Westbound 202 Santan near the Santan Village Parkway. Another one westbound near the Loop 101 Bryson. We do have a couple of crashes.
Almost to my storage, but still too early to go there. It doesn't open for another 25 minutes.
The Window Depot, offering the best prices and biggest inventory on in-stock vinyl windows and interior and exterior doors. Order online or find a location near you at thewindowdepot.com. Teacher and KJR News.
Thank you, Dan. Our high today, 110. The high tomorrow, 108. With a 30% chance of rain today and some possible blowing dust, we have a 20% chance of rain.
Right here, crossing where Randolph Road used to be.
Your weather is brought to you by Howard Air. Whether replace or repair, call Howard Air.
So someday I really want to see if I can find a map old enough that shows the original route of Randolph Road on it. I'm still pretty fascinated about that.
Online Trading Academy opening bell and stocks are rising as Wall Street tries for a comeback.
There used to be a strip bar there on the right that's been closed for a long time.
Nothing too major though this morning. Dow's up 0.5%. It's up 161 points. The S&P is up 15, and the Nasdaq's up about 0.25%. It's up 24 points.
This is funny. Like, this is where it goes from hood to suddenly not hood.
And
Suddenly you've got Gateway Community College on the left, Mountain Park Health Center on the left, or on the right, Gateway Community College on the right, Mountain Park Health Center on the left, and the Hilton Garden Inn Hotel.
Locally, a lot of agencies, including federal and state and city agencies, working together to curb gun crime, which is on
I think today's a good day for liquid breakfast.
On Arizona's Morning News.
Jamie West here, and yes, in the forecast today, some blowing dust. Supposed to be pretty windy as we have thunderstorms move through. Don't worry about it if your pool cushions or even your patio cushions or even your patio furniture ends up in the pool. Not affected from today's patio.
Oh, this is nice. City of Phoenix just got this restriped. They've been resurfacing this. This road used to be pretty darn rough.
Jamie West here.
They did a really nice job. They put bike lanes on it.
And they are
2 lanes each direction, a chicken lane in the middle, and bike lanes. You know, generally I'm not a fan of bike lanes on stroads, but I'm going to say this one's a win. It looks like they've done a good job of making sure that the bike lanes are adequately smooth and wide.
It is just fun. It's fun to shop there. I love to go. And with today's patio,
there's not such an abundance of traffic on this road that other than the bike lane ended right there. Really, Phoenix?
Decades. Check out the incredible selection at todayspatio.com. That's today's
kind of dropped the ball on that one, they did. Oh, I hate that ad. Wow, there's a metal frame of a building going in on the left. So curious what that development is that's happening there, because that's just been empty space for decades between 40th Street and 36th Street, Loop 202 and McDowell. So kind of exciting to see some infill development finally happening there. So one of these apartment complexes on the left, either the one that I'm passing right now or the one just south of it. I think there's one just south of it. Found out that was one of the places that my ex-wife was living shortly after we had separated, when she was trying so hard to keep her location concealed from me, which was all in the name of I need to be protected because he's abusive, which is just ludicrous. She got engaged to another guy, and I think after seeing the way she was treating me, and then she pretty much put it on him to do the exchanges with Allison, and then seeing the way that Allison, and we're talking Allison at like 2 years old, seeing the way that Allison reacted to me every time she saw me, and how happy she was to be with me, and how happy she was, you know, when I dropped her off, and how friendly. I was always super friendly to the guy. There's no reason for me, you know, thanks for taking care of my garbage. Not my kid, my ex-wife. Gotta clarify that. But yeah, he, I don't know, I think he just kind of saw what my reality was and was listening to what Daniela was saying, and was probably like, you know what? I don't think I want this in my future. Although, I wonder if he got his ring back. He bought Daniela a pretty damn nice diamond ring. She was showing that off. And the matching wedding rings that I got for Daniela and I came out of a 25-cent vending machine, and they were made out of aluminum. They looked really cool. And yeah, you know, every woman wants a nice rock for a wedding ring, but I don't know. That's, you know, I thought when we got married we were on the same page of, you know, being frugal and trying to focus on the important things of building a business and buying a house and raising a baby together. Yeah, about two years into that, she lost the plot. Still, part of me is bewildered that she's gone. I was really hoping by the time we were both, you know, by the time I was in my 50s and she was in her 40s, that maybe we could work out our differences. But I guess that's not in the plan. Anyway, I'm here. I should wrap this up. I'm not sure why you wasted 35 minutes with me on this drive, but thanks for joining me.